All right, we're jumping into Friday, October 29th, 2021, and take a look at the price action on the NASDAQ. In the morning hours that I trade, from about 6:30 Pacific to roughly 8:30 or so. So as you can see, I mean, we ripped higher yesterday. We really grinded to the upside, and I believe hit all-time new highs. Up in this range 15,860 it looks like we got to. Crazy times. So let's zoom in to the open, kind of talk about what I did. So we got, at market open, a good buy signal. I did not take that, staying away from those trades lately, and it's been paying off, and I'm gonna strive to continue to do that. I did take this sweet spot buy signal right here. I liked this blue bar, and then I liked that this came down, touched the 1 minute support as well as 3 minute support. We already had 3 minute, 2 minute printing, so we're good to go. We just needed a valid signal, and I loved this signal that the price bar, the preceding price bar came down, touched 1 minute support, and then on top of that turned blue, giving me a good buy signal right here around the 49 range. I believe that's kind of where I was filled. With these kind of first trades of the day early like this, especially, excuse me, a sweet spot. Um, I've been just trying to lock in something real quick. And I did that. I locked in at, I want to say I locked in at 65, maybe 64, because I was looking for just a quick 15 points. Got that pretty easily within less than a minute, I want to say. Maybe it's about a minute. And so locked that in, and of course it stopped me out pretty quickly. And then just kind of, bounced back and forth a little bit. Didn't really, it kind of gradually turned it higher from there. If I would have stuck into the trade, I would have likely used a two green bar exit right here, and then been stopped out kind of in the 60.5 range. Hindsight's 2020. It looks like just snagging the 15 points was a good idea on this one. Definitely not always the case, as it could easily have continued higher and not given me that stop out on the two green bar exit. So kind of just chopped along right here. Got a big strong sell signal into support, into 2 minute support. So obviously that's into a trade zone. Big bar, man. So it was just kind of a big drop off of this level. So going along here, got another buy signal right here, which was a really good buy signal. I like these where you have 2 minute and 3 minute continually printing, and you don't lose it when you get this sell signal, and the price just kind of gets trapped within this zone, and then it breaks out of that zone with a nice clean buy signal. And so I was long here at 95 range. I think I actually got a favorable fill in the 94 and change range. That was at 48, and it looks like S&P was in lockstep with Nasdaq, and it was throughout the morning, kind of same chomp around here, and then we broke out. So I was long here. Got real lucky, man. I think my stop, I've been working with a 15-point stop, so I think I got favorably filled around 94, let's call it 94 and a half. So my stop was 79 and a half. I mean, look at that. That's 79 and a half. I was less than 2 points away from getting stopped out on that, which would have stunk, because then I would have had to deal with those emotions of getting right back in on this sweet spot. Thankfully, got this sweet spot to print. It's one of the best things to see when you're taking heat like that in a trade, and you're two points away from getting stopped out, but then it just hits that level, bounces off, gives you a blue bar for a sweet spot. Obviously, I didn't take it because I was already in the trade. Continued upwards. Um, I was kind of disappointed in myself with how I handled this trade. I was telling myself that I was just gonna stick with it, and I had I want to say it was a 35 point target profit, which would have been around 30. I think I had my target profit at 30, which as you can see, easily got hit. But once we got up into this range, and I got some green bars, I locked in 15 points at 15, 7, 10 right here. And this is just, this is just trading, man. I got ticked out right here. The bottom of this blue bar was 15, 7, 10. My dome just flashed there real quick and stopped me out before just ripping higher off of that level. So that was very unfortunate, hard to overcome. Just, those emotions of knowing that, you could have easily locked in your target profit and, had the day that you wanted to have, but instead you get ticked out, on the dot, on the point. It was brutal. But that's just trading. I almost think sometimes, and I've heard this in other areas and in books, and other people say this, that the psychology and the emotions that you experience from missing out on potential profit sometimes outweighs the pain that you feel when you take a loss. And I felt that yesterday. I was just like, just pissed. I couldn't believe that I got kicked out on the exact point. And then I would have locked in, right here. I would have just hit my target profit, and it would have given me 50 points on the day, which is kind of what I go for as my target profit for the whole day. If I get to 50, I'm gonna stop. So that was unfortunate, but at the end of the day, great learning lesson. You know, can complain all I want, but I ended the day profitably, with about 30 points. But yeah, as you can see, that was a clean trend. Took that heat right here, but clean trend upwards. And if I would have just utilized a two green bar exit, I wouldn't have been stopped out there. My stop would have been 9.5. I would have come very close, but it wouldn't have taken me out. And then my next stop would have been here. It would have been here, but never took me out. Bring it up to here around 35, and that would have been a nice clean, what, 40 points, not too shabby. Another good buy signal right here that continued upwards, took a little bit of heat. Pardon me. In at 40 and a half, heat down to 32 and a half, and then continued upwards, really continued upwards. I mean, look at that. Probably would have been stopped out here with that two green bar exit, but man, it just wanted to hit those new all-time highs. I was determined to do that, and that's exactly what it did. But I think a good, um, I think a good takeaway from yesterday is to just, no matter what, stick to the plan, because when I reflect and do these reviews after the fact, I look at the plan. I also do tracking based on my strategy and what the strategy should result in, and I base a lot off of those numbers. And when I'm not staying in line with those numbers, that's when it gets frustrating. And so I couldn't have, I would have been mad, but I can't get as mad if I would have just stuck to the plan, and I can blame it then on my strategy and the plan, just not panning out that day. But when I intervene and impose my own things, and oh, I just want to lock in 15 points right here, that's when I look back and then, like, man, if I would have just stuck to my strategy, stuck to my rules, I would still been in that trade and locked in a nice little profit there. So that was a good lesson. Another good lesson is, no idea what the market's going to do. Um, I was in this trade for a while. I was in right here around 48 or so, and I didn't see it come back to profit for, I mean, a little bit there, but a good 20 minutes before we really got it going. And I think sometimes when I sit in a trade for that long, the second I start to get profit, I want to lock it in more quickly. But I think I just need to learn to be more patient, and let it run, because a lot of times, if you take this heat and then you're able to escape, that's when it's just going to continue upwards and it's going to grind. Going up, trending upwards is always slower than a sell off. And so just gotta stick with it, stay patient, ignore the amount of time I'm in a trade, and just let it play out. I think was a good lesson for me yesterday. At the end of the day, man, can't complain about 30 points on the day. Um, but yeah, so overall, solid day, good week. That was Friday, October 29th, 2021. Cheers.